This meeting is being recorded. This meeting is being recorded.
Okay. All right. Well, hello, everyone. Can you guys see me? Sorry, my camera's at a weird angle because we're going to be doing a demonstration here in a second. Thank you very much for joining us, to the few that are in here in the room with me and everybody else watching in the future on our YouTube channel. My name is Sam Seavey. I'm the Assistive Technology Program Manager here at the Bluegrass Council of the Blind. And today, for today's Assistive Technology Group Seminar, we're going to be taking a look at the Scan Jig. Really cool, very simple product, but looks like it's going to be pretty helpful for us and our consumers. So I'm going to spin the camera around and so you guys can see the table over here, and we will get started. Hang on just a second. All right, so you should be able to see me okay. See, more importantly, see the Scan Jig, and I'll try to talk up so you guys can hear me. So this is the Scan Jig. It's a very simple, hard plastic product. And the sole purpose of this is to allow you to scan paper documents and turn them into digital documents. But I mean, I think that's originally what it was designed for. But for us, we can also use this to paired up with an OCR app like Seeing AI or Envision AI, and scan mail or forms or documents and have those read out loud to you. So it works really, really well for that. And that's what I'm going to be demonstrating today. Got a couple things we can scan over here. All right, so before I get started, I would like to say that we here at the Bluegrass Council of the Blind were able to purchase a bunch of these thanks to a generous grant that we were awarded, and we have some of these available in the office. If anybody is interested in getting one of these, please give us a call. You can call the main office, 859-259-1834, and schedule an appointment to come in and try it out. All right, so self-contained unit, everything you need is right here in the Scan Jig box. The top swings open and opens up to a 45-degree angle here. In the box here, you have a black cardboard or piece of construction paper. We'll set that aside and we'll talk about that in a second. You also have a set of instructions on a sheet, but they're not in this particular one. You have this board here that has a hinge on the back, kind of reminds me of a picture frame. Set that aside for a second. We have a bag of accessories, and then you have this bar here. So this is how you assemble the Scan Jig. This plate here has circles all down the front of it. These are holes punched out or cut out in the surface here. And you'll notice that on this bar here, there are corresponding pegs. So this is going to, you're going to push that into some of the pegs on the front here, and this is going to act as a shelf to hold your device. Now, whether you are using a smartphone or a tablet is going to depend on what holes you put the pegs into. You know, if you have a big tablet, you're going to use some of the ones further down to make more room for that tablet. If you have a smartphone, then you want to put those in, put that shelf in a little bit higher on this board. I have a smartphone is what I'm using today, so I'm going to put mine a little bit higher. And the nice thing is, that's probably too high. The nice thing is this is all very tactile. You don't have to be able to see at all to assemble this Scan Jig, all very tactile. All right, we've got our little shelf attached there. So now we need to put it into the Scan Jig. And on the inside here, you have these little notches This is where the shelf is going to be inserted, and there's a couple different notches that you can choose from. Kind of depends on how close or far away you want to get the phone from the back plate here. I haven't really noticed much of a difference depending on which one I put it in. They all seem to work very well. You just want to slide it in there and make sure you get it in one of those. And then it leans forward both at a 45-degree angle as well. And that's where this little, the little stand part swings out and kind of keeps it from falling too far back. And that is it. That is the Scan Jig all assembled. It's really pretty simple. Now, we can take a piece of paper that we want to scan and find out what this says, and we can set this on the back board here. You guys can see, I'm just setting this right here on the board. And if you have a small piece of paper, like maybe you were going to try and scan a receipt, that's where you could use this black construction paper. Set that right there, and then the piece of paper you want to scan can go in front of it, and that will add some contrast between the edges of the paper and the back of the board. That's all. I think that's all the black construction paper is for. Now, this paper that I want to scan is a little small, so I kind of want to have it up here and not down here so far. So that's where we're going to use some of these accessories that came in the box. Some of these accessories are little clips. You have two little clips, and these can be used to clip your paper up higher. Let's see if I can get it here, sorry. There we go. So now the paper will stay up nice and up higher on the board here, and it's going to be easier to scan. Okay, so now we just need to use whatever app you want to use to do the scan. I'm going to use Seeing AI because that's what I'm using on my iPhone here. Seeing AI is a very powerful app. It's made by Microsoft. It's only available on iPhones and iPads, but it has a lot of great features that are super helpful for the blind and visually impaired. And one of those is a document scanner. So that's what we're going to be using. Open Seeing AI. All right, it's open here, and I'm going to click on Document. And now I just want to place this on the little shelf so you guys can see where that's placed. Maybe I'll turn it like that so you guys can see. And it puts it at the perfect reading angle, or the perfect angle. It has your paper at the perfect angle. It puts your device at the perfect angle. Oh, it's already processing. It saw it by itself. So the other benefit of this is you don't have to try and hold a piece of paper and hold the phone at the same time. And maybe some people don't have quite enough strength to do that without shaking the phone. So this just makes it so much easier. You can put your mail here, take a picture, put your next letter here, take a picture, and just breeze through it really quickly. So let me go through here. It already took the picture. Turn it up here. Now, if I touch that.
Legal residents who are blind or visually. Legal residents who are blind or visually impaired. iBill application forms are available to our BIT download from www.bev.gov and from www.loc.gov/NLS, or you can call BP toll.
So mine's reading a little fast, but it basically just took a picture of this paper and started reading it out loud for me. So now we can remove this piece of paper, and what if we want to scan our brochure here? Gonna put that like this. And this one, I can put it down all the way and we don't need the little clip anymore. Well, maybe we will use the clip. There we go. Now I'm gonna go back.
Back. Download from www.bev.back. Back. Menu. Button. Channel. Just take picture. Button.
And we take a picture of this one.
Processing. Cancel. Button. Back. Button. Scan result.
Oh, this one didn't. It's hard to do backwards.
Back. Button.
There we go.
Appropriate programs and services. Appropriate programs and services are available for adults with low to no vision. BCB works with individuals directly, as well as assisting professionals, family, and caregivers to inform the public of resources, services, and assistance available for adults affected by vision loss.
So hopefully you guys can hear that. It did a great scan and read everything perfectly. I could have let it go and it would read the entire page for me if I wanted to. So that is the Scan Jig in a nutshell. Let's bring this paper over again. You could even use this without the board here. If I wanted to take this off and maybe I just want to have the paper at a nice viewing angle, but I want to manually take the picture. Maybe I have enough vision that I can do that myself. It's just, I have a problem holding and lining things up. I can use this without the board here and take a picture. Another great tool would be, we have the OrCam here. The OrCam is a fantastic OCR device. We'll take a picture of printed text and read it out loud. This one that I have here is the OrCam Read, but I can just point it at the paper here. The paper's at a nice angle for me to do this very comfortably.
U.S. Currency Reader Program for the Visually Impaired, Bureau of Engraving and Printing, www.bev.gov. Apply for your currency reader today. The Bureau.
And there it goes. Read it perfectly, no problems. So that is the Scan Jig. As I said, a very simple product, not much to it, but it definitely gets the job done and does it really well. As I mentioned before, though, that this was probably originally designed to archive physical documents into a digital media. And so you can definitely use that for this as well. Say you have a bunch of old tax forms, paper tax forms, and you want to convert those into digital format. You can definitely do that. There's tons of apps that you can get, free apps that will take a picture of a document and then convert it into a PDF or a text document or a Word document. And they work really well. So this is something you could definitely do with this as well. I've also seen people will use this for turning old photos, preserving old photos, family photos, and turning those into digital photos. And it works really well for that too. That's where also this black background comes in handy, because it'll give you a nice black edge around that photo. So that is it, guys. And then just to kind of complete it, when you're done, you pop off the bar, drop that in there, drop in your little clips, put your paper right there, clip it shut, and then you can slide this onto a bookshelf or underneath a bed, or just tuck it away in a drawer somewhere and bring it out the next time you need it. So that is it.
Hey, Sam,
So if anybody in here has any questions about this, I'm happy to answer the questions.
I do, Sam. This is Chris. And
I got
so
one
you
after Chris.
hey, you showed an example of like an 8.5 by 11 page, and then you showed a smaller page that was landscape.
Yes.
What if you had an oversized page? You know, more than 8.5 inches wide.
Yeah, so you would probably, you could set it back, set the plate here back as far as it would go so that you could see as much of it as possible. If you're able to put the large document on here and it still stands up and everything, then you might be able to do that. But if it's just too big for that, or like a newspaper or something like that, that just won't hold its shape, you may need to snap pictures in sections, you know, take photos in different sections at a time. Then again, you also, like I said before, if you do have some vision that would allow you to, you could put the document on here and then step back really, you know, as far away as you would need to take a picture of the entire document at once.
Yeah. And
yeah,
then
it's one of those things you just kind of have to work with it to see what's going to work the best for that particular situation.
And then I was wondering, you know, the camera on an iPad is kind of offset. So
Yes.
is that
Great
accommodated?
question. Yes. So these that we have here at BCB are the Pro model of the Scan Jig. There's a regular Scan Jig and a Pro Scan Jig. And one of the differences between the two is the little shelf here that your device sits on. The Pro model, it hangs out over the edge. And that is to accommodate a tablet where the camera is off to one side. And in fact, let me grab real quick. So we have our iPad here, one of the large 12-inch iPads. Oops, wrong way. There we go. This will be a good demonstration because this is the largest iPad you could put on here. So I'm going to lower down the shelf here because we have a larger device. And then when you put this on here, you'll notice that in order to get the camera lined up with the document here, the iPad is actually hanging off the edge. And so that's why the Pro model has this shelf that hangs off the edge. It's to secure a large iPad like this, so you can use one of these as well.
Okay, good.
Yeah, that was a great question. Thank you, Chris, for pointing that out.
Hey, Sam,
Yeah.
is the is the iPad the only way you can use that, or will it work with the computer, or
I'm sorry, Marty, can you say that again?
yeah, okay. I said, wait a minute, let me adjust my, okay, now, my question was, can you use that other than with the iPad? Can you use it like with a computer?
No, this is only for mobile devices. So smartphones or tablets. Yeah, it's mainly designed for that. And it will work with any kind of smartphone, any kind of tablet. It doesn't have to be iPhone, iPad, Samsung, you know, any of those will work as well.
Right. Okay. And then the other thing was, when you used the Orcam a while ago, was that the one with the flash bulb on it, or is that just regular Orcam without that always says not enough light? And that's what I always get, not enough light, not enough light.
Yes, yeah. This one, the one that I have here is the Read, and it does have the flash built in as well. So if there wasn't enough light, it would automatically turn on. And if you do have an Orcam that's giving you that message, you can go in the settings and have it set to where the flash will automatically turn on.
Okay.
If it has a flash, I guess I should say. I think the older ones maybe don't.
Yeah, mine don't have a flash. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, any kind of, and that's a good point that Marty brings up, any kind of text scanning app or computer or anything like that, it's going to work a lot better. If it's giving you problems, it's going to work a lot better with really good lighting. So maybe if you can't turn on some lights, maybe take it over near a window. That would help as well. But those things work a lot better with light, good light.
What I usually do is I take my desk lamp and aim it at the paper and then take a picture of it that way, and it works. Seems to work pretty much
Yeah.
most of the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So something else I want to ask you too about that. Think about it a minute. I'll tell you in a minute. Somebody else might have a question in the meantime.
Okay. Now, I should also mention that here at BCB, we also have iPads available as part of our extended loan program. If anybody would like information about that, they can contact us, 859-259-1834, or you can send us an email, info@bcbky.org. The iPads, we have the iPad minis, and they would work really, really well on one of these Scan Jigs.
I just thought of my question.
Okay.
Okay. The Seeing AI app, it already has the document thing on it, so it will read it anyway if you put it on there and take a picture of it. And the thing is, when I do that, it misses some things. It doesn't read the whole. It reads the document, but it blurs over some things. And so that thing that we call it jig, we call it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's Scan Jig.
Scan Jig, yeah. So that Scan Jig don't do that, huh?
Well, usually when that happens, it's user error, right? It's either the person's not holding it, maybe they're holding it too close, maybe they're holding the phone too close or too far away from the paper of the document or whatever you're scanning. Maybe it's a magazine that has a glossy page and there's this crazy light reflection going on the page, and so the camera can't see the text underneath the light reflection. There's lots of different reasons that it possibly is doing that. Usually the person's just not holding it in the best way, the best angle, the best distance. So that's where the Scan Jig solves all that problems, because you can't not have it in the perfect distance. You know, if you put the paper on the back board here and you put the phone or the tablet on the front board here, it's going to be pointing at the exact spot you need it to, at the exact angle you need it to. So it just eliminates a lot of those problems.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Hey, Sam,
Yes.
have you ever tried doing a mobile deposit of a check using the Scan Jig to hold the check? So you'd be using the bank's app
Yeah.
to take a picture of it.
I have not. Yeah, I have not myself, but you totally could. You would probably need to use those little clips and clip it kind of in the middle somewhere.
Yes.
But especially with this black background, I think that would probably work really well. And there's one other thing too. They've really thought of a lot of things here when they designed this board here that you put your document on. It has a little ridge here on one side, on the right side. So you can't not line up your paper in the perfect spot. If it goes over to where it stops, you know you're lined up perfectly. And in this front panel here has this cutout, which if you are doing your phone, you can feel when your phone is, let me turn that off. You'll be able to feel and line it up perfectly, the camera perfectly with that window, that little opening. So you know that you're going to get a nice scan. So.
Cool little gizmo.
Guys have any more questions? Chris said she's getting one for Christmas, so I'd be interested to see when Christmas finally does come along, what you think about it?
Yeah, yeah. Now, as I recall, you talked about how the council has a few of these, but when I purchased mine, I think you have to go to their website, don't you? I don't know
Yes,
that it
I believe,
on Amazon, right?
sorry.
It was.
Yeah. Yeah, I know they sell on Amazon, but I don't know if you get redirected or not. I didn't purchase these for the council,
Okay,
so I'm not entirely sure. We do have several here in the office, though, that are ready and available for people if they would like to. If they think this could be helpful for them, they're more than welcome to schedule an appointment and come in and talk to us about it. And we can decide, yeah, if, you know, show it to you in person and decide if it would be indeed a good fit for you.
I'd definitely be interested in that. I mean, you have to show me how to put it together in, you know, in office person, because I can't really tell what you're doing there. So if you show me, you know, how to do it, put my hands on it and do it that way, a lot. I learn better that way, I think.
and then are you recording, Sam?
Yes.
So Marty, you could also sometime go to the council's YouTube channel and, you know, watch the video. You'd be able to see him do it too.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm looking at the video now. I'm looking to do it now, but I can't tell what he's doing. I don't see that good, so it's kind
Right.
of
Better to,
Yeah.
yeah,
Sure.
it's better
what
if
I
you can
mean.
touch it.
That's what I mean about, you know, being in person. You know, you're better that way. I do it when I'm manually.
Yeah.
Hands on.
I think this
Absolutely.
would be very helpful for people too that are, you know, if you got Parkinson's or something like that, you shake all the time and or, you know, don't have the strength to hold your hand all the time. This is
Right.
good. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and especially with some of these phones and tablets are pretty big and can be kind of heavy, especially like you said, if they just don't have the arm strength.
Right.
It could be hard to kind of line things up that way. So yeah, I think so. Cool. Well, all right, guys, unless anyone else has a question, we will go ahead and wrap it up. I'm going to end the recording here. Thank you very much. Anybody that's watching this in the future, thank you very much for joining us for this AT group seminar. Be sure to check out some of our other videos on our YouTube channel, The Blind Life, for other content like this. Lots of great information. And once again, if you would like to get in touch with us, you can give us a call, 859-259-1834. You could visit us online at www.bcbky.org. All the information you can find on the website. Thank you very much, guys.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks, Sam.
Yeah.
See you guys later.
All right. Bye.
Bye,
See you
Marty.
later. Bye.